Ladies and gentlemen, I'm indeed honored to be here. As I was listening to the speakers, and then when Brian got up, I wasn't sure that I wanted to get up. I love that very much, Brian. Bob and I have been friends for a long time. Jeremy and I just met. But when I got the invitation to be here with you today, I said yes. But as I get here and I see the enthusiasm, I am glad that I came, and I'm indeed honored that I did so. Today is Flag Day, and June the 14th has some other things that we can celebrate too, other than Flag Day. The U.S. Army was founded in 1775 on this day. In 1954, President Eisenhower added "Earn the God" to the Pledge of Allegiance. But more important, I guess, than those two things is, today is Donald Trump's birthday. He was born in 1946. The Stars and Stripes has been our national banner since 1777. The flag represents 5 cherished freedoms that all Americans cherish. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to assemble, and what you're doing here today, freedom to petition the government for grievances. And we have a lot of grievances that we want to talk about. 1 year earlier, July the 4th, 1776, a decision was made by our founding fathers. The decision was made to choose freedom over tyranny and oppression. They adopted the Declaration of Independence. Now, I know that you've heard our president say that we are not unique. We are unique the same way Greece is unique, the same way Spain is. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we are unique. We are unique and we are exceptional. If you look at the Constitution of any other country in the world, this is the only country that is born with a fundamental belief in God. There's no ifs and ands about it. We have a fundamental belief in God. The Declaration of Independence clearly says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among those rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those rights didn't come from the state of Nebraska. Those rights didn't come from Washington, D.C. Those rights came from your Creator. Your Creator. Now, why do we have a government? Very simply. Those rights that your Creator gave you, that's why you institute a government. Governments are instituted to secure those rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, what the government forgot is they derive those rights from the consent of the governed. They work under the consent of the governed. As Benjamin Franklin, legend has it, as Benjamin Franklin was leaving the Constitution Convention on that Monday, September the 17th, 1787, a lady cried out, "Mr. Franklin, what have you wrought?" In other words, what type of government do you have? What type of government have you given us? And Mr. Franklin replied, "A republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it." Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, we haven't kept it. We have not kept it. Over the past few years, there's been a silent revolution to usurp the Constitution. And consequently, we have lost our government. You want examples? The health care bill. The Cap and Trade Act that's making its way through Congress. The appointment of Mrs. Clinton as Secretary of State, she is ineligible. The Cornhusker kickback. The Pennsylvania affair where Joe Sistek was offered a job. That's bribery. You can't do that. That's against the law. The Colorado affair, where the Colorado Speaker of the House, Andrew Rumoff, was offered something for him not to run. All of these things are against the Constitution, and they are against the law. What we have done, ladies and gentlemen, we have allowed the Congress to imprison our minds. They frame the debate. They don't let us do it. They frame the debate. Falsely tell us that we are a democracy. As the lady that gave the invocation told you, we don't live in a democracy. You never have. The founding fathers made every attempt to make sure that you wouldn't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. That's what we live in. All you have to do is look at Amendment 9 and Amendment 10 to the Constitution. And if you want to go to the health care bill again, you look at Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. Those are the 18 items that you and I have given Congress the authority to do. Nowhere in there will you see that the health care bill. Nowhere. But here's what has happened. Since we have allowed them to frame the argument, they come back and tell us whatever they want to tell us. But I want you to know, you can read the Constitution over and over again. You can read the Declaration of Independence over and over again. You will not find the word democracy in either one of those documents. It's not there. It's not there. You say, well then, what does all this mean if that's the case? Here's what it means, ladies and gentlemen. We are in charge of this nation. We are, the people. We are in charge of the store, and we just hired employees to run the store on our behalf. Our employees are 545 individuals. The president's 1, Supreme Court is 9, senators 100, and members of the House of Representatives 435. 545 people. Now, we knew that they would be dumb. We even gave them an instruction manual. We gave them the Constitution to go by. So they don't say. We gave them a job, and then we say, here, you go by this book here. They haven't done that. Clearly, we have lost our government. Now, the next thing you may say, Glenn, whose fault is it? Oh, it's the Democrats. No, it's the Republicans. It's the conservatives. It's the liberals. But I'm reminded of a saying that when I was in the 9th grade, Shakespeare. And Brutus was talking to Cassius, and he said, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in the stars, but in ourselves. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in the stars, but in ourselves. We have allowed this to happen. We have. And we have to stop it. This is our country, and we can stop it. Since 1995, there's been a bill in the House of Representatives. They call it the Enumerated Powers Act. And that bill says that any law that's introduced in Congress will cite the paragraph in the Constitution that is applicable to it. That bill has died. It's died. This September the 17th, 1787, this September, the Constitution was 23 years old. And like someone has said earlier, we often want to find out, that's such an old document, does it apply today? The Constitution is an enduring document. What it meant in 1787 is exactly what it means today. If you look at Federalist Paper 78, Alexander Hamilton stated, no legislative act, therefore, contrary to the Constitution can be